So today we'll start with one of the most interesting and most important topics of mathematics, that is algebra. So this first lecture is basically on introduction of algebra. Now we all know that so far we have dealt with the numbers say 2, 4, 9, 10, and so on and so forth. So they're infinite numbers, right? Some positive or negative, whatever. We have also dealt with uh, you know uh, applying arithmetic operators on these numbers. Maybe 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. 7 into 4 is equal to 28. And 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2, right? What if I say that maths is not just all about numbers and we do have alphabets in maths? Say it's like X, Y, A, B, C. It looked pretty strange, right? Because we all know that every number has got some value attached to it, so it becomes fairly easy to apply any arithmetic operation on it. Maybe 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. We all know that, right? We can count it on fingers. But what do we do with alphabets? Why do we use alphabets? Can we apply arithmetic operators on alphabets? So all these questions I'm going to answer in this video. Now, before we do that, let's take an example. You know, uh, say you have 7 candies, okay, and someone takes 3 candies from you. How many candies you're left with? The answer is 4, right? Now let's give it a little twist. We say that you had some candies, some that is we don't know, so it's unknown. Some candies, and Ram took away 3, and you were left with 4. Again, it's pretty simple, right? You'll say, okay, this question mark is equal to 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, and this answer is same as it was in this question, right? But we are going to get numerous of such problems, and every time it's going to get more and more complex. Then it becomes so confusing and so awkward to use this question mark or the empty space or vacant space or dash every time, right? So what we say is that we say that let that unknown be maybe say X or Y or A, maybe any character from A to Z. So it becomes extremely easy for us to solve the questions. Now let's take one more example. Uh, Suppose you are a shopkeeper and you are maybe selling, say, candies. I have already discussed. Every time we can't be selling candies, not good for health. So let's say that you are selling something called pens, and each pen is priced at rupees 5. So you get a first customer. He say Ram. Ram says that give me 5 pens. Then there's another customer, say Sham. He says, give me 10 pens. And then third person comes, he is, say, Ram Sham Govind. Let's take a different color. Yeah, Govind. He says, give me pens for rupees 100. Right? Oh, so he says, give me pens for rupees 100. Now, the cost of pen is 5 in each case, right? Now, when Ram is buying 5 pens, how much money is he paying? Simple, it is 5 into 5, and that is equal to 25. When Sham is buying pens, how much is he paying? He's paying 10 into 5, and that is equal to 50. Now, when Ram is paying you 100 rupees and buying pens, each costing rupees 5, then again it's pretty simple, right? It's 20 into 5. Now you will realize that here this the cost of each pen, the cost of each pen is same. It's constant. It is not changing. What is changing is the number of pens you are buying and the amount of money you are paying, right? Number of pens here is 10, what you pay is 50. Number of pens here is 20, what money you are paying is 100. So we can say that we say y is equal to x times 5. Now what does it mean? It means y is total money paid. X is number of pens bought. So this entire question was actually made into one small sentence and we call it an equation. What do we call it? We call it equation. Now, so in subsequent videos we'll discuss a little more about what equations is and why do we call it equation, or why do we use equal to sign, etc. But the point of this video is to tell you that there are something called unknown values which are dependent on some known values, and we have to find those unknown values, and algebra is all about that, finding that unknown. Now let's take one more example. We say that Ram had few candies. Ram had few candies and Sita took away 5 candies from him, leaving Ram with say 7 candies. Now, this looks such a long question, right? Such a long statement it has. Now, when we move to algebra, or when we incorporate algebra in it, or when we use algebra, what we simply do? We simply say Ram had few candies. So, few candies means something which is unknown. Okay. Okay, we have not completed the question. The question is how much or how many candies did Ram had, right? So now it becomes pretty clear. Okay, so we reduce this entire 4-line questions into just one small equation. And how do we do it? Is that Ram had few candies, so few is something which we have to find, right? We don't know, it's unknowns. We say that okay, this is say x. And then Sita took away. Took away means Sita took away from him. That is, something is getting reduced from what Ram had. So we subtract 5. She took away 5 candies, so we subtract 5 from it. Then we say that leaving Ram is 7 candies. So what does it mean? It means that now Ram is left with 7 candies. So this entire 4-line question we have actually reduced to one statement, which we called as equation. And what we do is that we just calculate for the value of x, and it's x is equal to 7 plus 5. We have done it numerous of times in previous classes, and that's equal to, and this is equal to 12. So the answer is that Ram had 12 candies. Now, this is a very, very simple question, very, very basic question. Going forward, we're going to do much more complex questions, okay, much more complex problems, and then you'll find that this algebra really makes our life much, much, much easier. All that we will do in subsequent videos. Till then, thank you, enjoy.